Thank you very much. I want to make it known that all board members are present and accounted for, including our new board members. I'd like to welcome. Everyone's been sworn in. So as a step, I'd like to take nominations for president of the school board. If anybody would like to nominate someone.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Scalfani as president.
Thank you. Second? All in favor, raise your hand. Aye. Aye. Any abstentions, any no votes? Thank you very much. Thank you for your trust in me. We'll now take nominations for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Mark Pikowski.
Mark Pikowski, okay. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Second. All in favor, raise your hands.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Thank you. Yep, congratulations, Mr. Pikowski. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Mancuso for her service to the board as vice president. Okay. We'll move on to the appointment of officers. Based on the agenda, we have appointment of district clerk, deputy district clerk, district treasurer, deputy district treasurer, tax collector for the town of Carmel and the town of Putnam Valley, compliance section 504 officer, Title IX compliance officer, and Title IX alternate compliance officer. Anybody have any questions? Could I get a motion to accept those positions, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any no votes? Any abstentions? Thank you. Motion carries. Okay. We have the second set of appointments under other appointments, B, which is school attorney, external auditor, fiscal advisor, claims auditor, board audit committee resident, school physicians, central treasury, chief chief faculty counselors, district purchasing agent, record access officer, record management officer, authorization to appoint impartial hearing officer, designee determining student residency, designee determining transportation routes, asbestos designee, homeless liaison, bond counsel, district architect, and the 403 liaison. Any questions on any of those names? Could I get a motion to accept the other appointments, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any no votes, any abstentions? Okay. Let's move on to section C. Section C is the designations, the public designations, and this is designating the Journal News and the Putnam County Courier as official newspapers of the school district. The Mayapack News is not listed there because they are a free newspaper, and according to New York State education law, they cannot be a free newspaper. They will be advised of anything that's going on in the school. I had a conversation with Mr. Freeman and advised him that he will get all updates that he normally gets, has gotten in the past, same as the other newspapers. Any questions? Can I get a motion to accept, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any no votes? Any abstentions? Thank you. Let's go to authorizations. Authorizations. You can see there's a list of several items there. I'm not going to go through them. There's 12 items. You've had the opportunity to review these. Any questions on authorizations? These include district central office, high school principal, custodian, central office custodian, middle school custodian, and so on and so forth. Any questions? Could I get a motion to accept the authorization?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Any no votes or abstentions? Thank you. Other items? Okay, the other items is to establish the budget hearing. Seems like we just finished this, but we're setting the dates already. May 17th, at the annual May 17th, 2016 meeting, and budget hearings on May 10th of 2016, in addition to others that we'll announce as we get closer to the May date. Could I get a motion to accept the other items, please? Second, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Any no votes, any abstentions? Thank you. Under consent agenda, resolutions, public access. This is for the hours of the Mayapack Central School District standard workday. Any questions or comments? Okay, could I get a motion to accept the resolution, please? Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any no votes? Any abstentions? Thank you. Okay. Could I get a motion to close the reorg meeting, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any abstentions or no votes? Thank you. Okay, we're going to move right into our regular meeting. Could I get a motion, please, to open the regular meeting? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. First item is under communication, resident comments on agenda items only. Anyone want to speak? Please step up to the microphone and identify yourself. No one? Okay, we'll move on to finance, acceptance of warrants. We have several warrants that have been distributed to the board. Could I get a motion to accept the warrants as submitted? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any no votes? Any abstentions? Thank you. Let's move on to the treasurer's report. Again, as submitted, the 7/14/15 treasurer's report for May. Any comments or questions? Could I get a motion to accept the treasurer's report for May of 2015, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any no votes, any abstentions? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to section 4, which is approval of the minutes. Okay. Now, for the new board members, the approval of the minutes, as we discussed, you will be abstaining because you were not present for those meetings. Okay. Okay. First meeting is the minutes of, sure, yes. Okay. So till then, the 24th, you'll abstain from that, you weren't present for that. 6:18, I have all board members present, all standing board members or incumbent board members were present, including Mrs. Lacapara, she was sworn in right after the election. Could I get a motion to accept the 6/8/15 minutes? So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 3 abstentions. Thank you. Okay, the regular board minutes of June 9th. We have all incumbent board members were present, including Mrs. Lacapara. Can I get a motion to accept those minutes, please? All in favor? And we have 3 abstentions, correct? Thank you. And the special meeting minutes of June 24th. That is, again, all the incumbents were present. Can I get a motion to accept those? I accept the right, correct, I'm sorry. Accept from Ms. Zimmerman. Could I get a motion to accept those minutes, please?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
And we have 4 abstentions. Okay. Move on to item number 5, which is the superintendent report. I'd like to introduce Dr. Creedon. Welcome aboard.
Good evening. I am honored to join you in the Mahopac community. We are fortunate to have an excellent central office staff and department leaders. I have met with our school principals and can attest to the fact that we have highly gifted leaders in our schools. We will collaborate on building professional learning communities for the administrators and teachers in the coming school year. Our extended school year program here in Mahopac is going well. It is moving along successfully, and it was a pleasure today to meet one of the young students who approached me in the hallway with his hand up saying, "You're the new superintendent. Do a good job." I don't know how he knew I was the new superintendent, but I had a huge smile. Our high school this week is hosting the Principals Leadership Institute for our local BOSIs. We thank the principal, as well as we are grateful that the principals all came forward to actually attend this event. For a staffing update, we have been extremely fortunate to attract highly qualified staff. We have already identified many candidates that will be submitted to the board for consideration. And at this point, we only have a handful of positions still open for the beginning of the school year. Our bus drivers and monitors in the past week and in the future will be attending professional development on our goal of building enhanced communication skills. Within the bus drivers and monitors, I had to thank them for their extremely early days and the fact that they travel so long with our children in buses. Children can be gleeful, and I am appreciative of their patience. For facilities, we have major improvements taking place in the high schools, and these improvements are moving along smoothly and will be completed on time for the opening of the school year. In closing, I can only repeat how pleased I am to be with you. It is truly an honor. Mahopac is a slice of heaven. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Creedon. Okay, we'll move on to item 5B, which is the Board of Ed committee reports. I'm not sure how many we had because of change in the members, but if anybody is the chair of the committee that'd like to speak about their committee, I'd appreciate it. Mrs. Lindman?
Sure. Transportation Committee did meet in June. We went over old business and new business. Specifically on old business, we talked about the surplus vehicles, which are on the consent agenda for this evening. Once we approve the consent agenda, those will be posted for bid. The radio leases are on the agenda for this evening as well. We talked about that. And as far as new business is concerned, obviously, Mr. Clamser and Mr. Gunn are working towards the purchase of the new buses for the new school year. So that's something to look forward to, as well as the results from the auditor that went through the transportation department. Everything that they found was basically a non-event. There were no issues found. That we had some pretty positive results, above average, if you will, relative to the inspections of our New York State DOT bus audits. As far as summer plans are concerned, we talked a little bit about that as well, and the planned training for the drivers, as well as obviously the work of planning the bus routes this summer, and last but not least, the paving of the back of the bus garage. So we had a lot of things to talk about since we hadn't met in a while, and look forward to keeping the dialogue alive. So welcome the public to any of the committee meetings for your insight. So thank you.
Anybody else would like to speak? Okay, Mrs. Soffer?
Policy met also in June. We're still in the process of reviewing many of our policies, and we're planning the second reading for the audit function policy this evening, and we're hoping to meet sometime as well. Thank you.
Okay, I'll give an update on buildings and grounds. We met with our architectural firm, Tetra Tech. We're going through a district-wide analysis of our property, trying to identify any issues that need to be addressed immediately. So we're doing a complete reevaluation of our entire district, as well as the good news is that we're going through another energy audit, and the initial numbers look like we'll save in the neighborhood of about $1 million with the additional energy audit. So that's an update to the one we had 5 or 6 years ago, so we're going to continue to look to do those kind of things. Anybody else? Okay, committees will pick up again in August. We'll be deciding who's going to sit on what committees and who will chair, and those will be published on the website. Okay, let's move on to item number 6, the consent agenda. I'd like to remove items CC on page, we don't have page numbers, okay, item CC, BD from the consent agenda. Anybody else, would you like to remove or discuss any item from the consent agenda? Okay. So could I ask, Mr. Bell, could you read item CC on the front of the last page?
The donation,
Yes, the donation from DeChico, please.
resolved upon recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education of the Mahopac Central School District accepts the monetary donation of $1.92 from Chico of JB Incorporated on behalf of the Riolo family to Mahopac Central School District.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hunter, could you read double D, please? It's also a monetary donation.
Resolved upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education of the Mahopac Central School District accepts the monetary donation of $53.28 from DeChico of JB Incorporated on behalf of Mahopac Middle School.
Any other discussions on the consent agenda? Could I get a motion to accept the consent agenda, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any no votes, any abstentions? Thank you. So we'll move on to the last, and that is comments from the public on any item they choose. Like to come up, please identify yourself and speak into the microphone.
Hi, my name is Nick Castellano. My daughter is a student who just finished 8th grade in the Mahopac Middle School. On June 8th of 2015, she was under my advisement. She chose to refuse to take the field test for the Common Core testing that was done. She had previously refused the regular Common Core testing on the earlier date, and there were no issues with that. But on the June 8th test date, I instructed my daughter that she should attend school as normal. She brought her tablet and a paperback book with her. And when she appeared for the field testing that she was refusing, she was instructed that she had to turn in those items, including the paperback book, and to sit and stare for the duration of the examination. It was my impression that the policy of the Mahopac Central School District was that students would not sit and stare during testing, so I had advised my daughter of the same, and I was quite disturbed to find out that she had been instructed that she had to turn those materials in. So I wrote an email that evening to the superintendent at the time, Superintendent Monahan, explaining the situation and expressing my concerns. He called me back almost immediately and expressed to me that he felt that she should not have been asked to sit and stare during the test period, and that he would look into the matter and get back to me. The following day, I heard from Principal DeGrande of the middle school. He called me on my cell phone, and he expressed to me that because of the staffing constraints during the field testing, that they didn't have a teacher who was available to provide a study hall type of a scenario. And I expressed my understanding of that staffing concern, but at the same time, I questioned why my child was not allowed to have either her tablet or a book to read, and was instead required to sit and stare into space for the duration of the examination. He was unable to provide a suitable explanation for that. So in my email to Superintendent Monahan, I had asked for a copy of the written policies of the school district regarding Common Core testing, and particularly with regards to sit and stare. And although we had a verbal conversation about it, I never received anything in writing. So this evening, I'd like to again renew that request for a copy of the written policies concerning student activities during refusal of tests. And I'd also like to know if it's possible to get any sort of understanding of what the policy will be going forward. Although my daughter will not be taking the 3 through 8 testing, of course, in the future, I do have 3 other children who are coming up through the school district, and I'd like to have an understanding of what the policy will be. Thank you very much.
What I would ask is if you could reach out to Superintendent Dr. Creedon, and he'll correspond with you on the information. Just so, point of reference, we try not to bring any individual discussions of students before the board because we don't want students to be embarrassed. In this case, it's a testing concern, but just so people are aware of this going forward, we try not to have any discussions about students. One thing I will say about the testing is this is kind of a new phenomenon that's happening in the schools now, that we have a lot of kids that are testing, that are opting out. And the problem you have is that you have a certain amount of teachers that are supposed to be proctoring the test, and then you need to house the children who are not taking the test. And I think that, you know, from what I've heard from the principals, it's been a little bit of a burden. Doesn't excuse the fact that your daughter had to sit there staring at a wall, but these are new things that we're experiencing now that we haven't experienced before, this massive level of students opting out. So what I'll do is I'll ask Dr. Creedon if you guys could get together and discuss this and get whatever information you're looking for so that we can satisfy your request.
I can answer you in the sense of not allowing your daughter to have the notebook or the book in particular. Testing protocols do not allow anything to be on the desk of any child when a testing period is taking place, especially with these national tests. And that's most likely the reason why she was not allowed to keep those belongings with her. It's unfortunate that she had to sit there and stare at the wall. But again, there's a great deal of difficulty because of the proctoring as well as the security protocols that have to be in place. That stretches the faculty extremely thin. But I'll reach out to you and we'll make sure that we can actually see exactly what the policy is so we can move forward.
And I'd just like to add just a little bit of good news. If people aren't aware, we have a new commissioner of education up in Albany, and the first thing that she has done is she has removed the testing company Pearson from New York State, and we will no longer be dealing with these kinds of field tests from Pearson and the inadequate testing protocols that they have been placing. So we're looking forward to a change of direction as far as testing goes in New York State.
Okay, anyone else? I actually went slightly out of order. I just realized there's an addendum for the school staffing agreement that we need to approve. It's item number 7 on the agenda. I could get a motion to accept that addendum, please. Second? All in favor? Aye. Any no or abstentions? Thank you. Okay. Any other resident comments? Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you in August. Could I get a motion to close the meeting, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, good night, everybody.